discuss the introduction of operating system. In the previous session, we have covered some topics related to the introduction also. Continuation of that, the introduction to the operating system as a part of the module 1, as a session 2, the course called 18 CS 43 for 4th semester computer science and engineering students. In this the video lecture, we can observe the presentation pillars or presentation flow. Beginning, we have going to be discuss the organization. Of course, some part we covered in the previous, so we'll continue that, and also system architecture for operating system. System architecture we're going to be see, and the OS structure, how it visualize the OS structure. Comprises the various component of especially starting from the hardware and not necessarily hardware, the complete component which comprises in operating system, that processor, device manager, information and scheduling and various tasks, and this core operations, how it will happen. As I said, the part of the architecture that process management will going to be see, and memory management, of course storage management, that main memory and secondary memory, so on. Ultimately, protection of this OS and security. Coming to this, what it will do depends on the point of the operating system. User want to convenience to execute his program or her program without disturbance or without any hazardous happen from the system. Ease of use and good performance also the matter. It not care about resource utilization. Resource may be CPU, resource may be memory and various other IO devices. So the utilization may not be a matter here. But shared the computer such as mainframe, mini computer must keep all users happy in that sense. Dedicated systems such as workstations have dedicated to resource, but frequently use the shared resource from servers. So handheld device or poor optimization may be usually, and battery life, that laptops and tab and mobile devices. So some computers have little or no user interface, so it will not interface, such as embedded computer device and automata levels. So they have fixed their specific applications. For example, fan, for example, power window in a car. So they don't need any interface. So they will repeatedly perform its own job, which is already decided. Continuation of this definition. So no universal acceptance definitions. Everybody will say on their own. It is act as a government between the people and the service. Everything vendor ships when you order an OS is a good approximation, but where is that? One program run at all times on the computer is a kernel. So kernel is a privileged mode. It is a special software that is a internal part of the OS. It very close to the hardware. So that part will be always running, that is. So everything else is either a system program, that is a compiler, operating system, and ships with operating system, or an application program also. Startup, you can see that bootstrap program is a loader which beginning the system should be set up now. As soon as you switch on this computer, certain responsible program will be load the OS and its allied part, BIOS and various other linker loaders. All those will could be loaded into power up or reboot. So coming to this typical stored in a read-only memory or EPROM, generally known as a firmware. Their data will be stored permanently. Initialize all aspects of the system. Loads the OS kernel and start execution. As we said, kernel is a privileged software, the very core portion of the OS. So OS portion has to be report there as soon as a computer will be switched on and start execution. So system operation, one or more CPU will be possible in a system. It depends upon the architecture. Controller connects through common bus, providing a access shared memory. So CPU is there and disk controller will be there for attaching CPU. So disk control will be control several disks. So there is more than one disk connected. So those will be report to the controller. And we have a USB controller. So USB plug will be there for system. One for mouse, one for keyboard, one for printer, right? So several USB there in a system. So all together has to be report there. It's controller. And as the graphics card will be there, VGA card or any graphics adapter will be there. That will be visualize the monitor. So these are all will be there combined and connected to the CPU. Of course, the memory. So this organization of the system we have seen in even non-human computer or in a computer organization course 2. So that common bus will be there. It shared the memory. So concurrent execution of the CPU and device computing for a memory cycle. So operation, IO devices and CPU can be executed concurrently. When doing some job by execution by CPU, in parallelly the IO can do some operation. No intervention of the no hampering of the operation of the CPU. Each device control is a charge of the particular device type. So each device controller has a local buffer. Device controller, for example, device mouse, for which the device controller will be there, for which device driver will be there. So that along with the kernel, so device driver will be there. So device driver has its own local buffer. So CPU moves data from and to main memory to local buffer. So buffer to main memory, vice versa. CPU can take care of that. So IO is from the device to local buffer of controller. IO is from device to local buffer. So device controller informs CPU that it has finished the operation by causing an interrupts. So particular device, or as I said, mouse device is a controller is there. It informs the CPU that it has finished the operation by causing an interrupt. So interrupt will be there for every completion of that operation. Coming to say what interrupt, it transfers the control to interrupt service routine. So interrupt is a routine. It is a program which have a address and its complete body. So address is there and its complete body will be stored in the memory. With help of that address we can call and send that. So any abnormal disturbance happen, then interrupt will be occur. Occur means that corresponding program, that is a interrupt service routine, will be executed through the interrupt vector. So the vector is contains the address of all interrupts which are listed in a system, which contains the address of all the services routines. So interrupts architecture must save the address of the interrupted instructions. So architecture have some memory, so there store the address of the interrupt instruction, that is a vector. Vector is the address of all the interrupts. So that architecture must have save that address. A trap for exception is an interrupt. Example of the interrupt is a trap or exception. Division by 0, one small interrupt exception. By in the program, if you are violating some program rules, so definitely that automatically parallelly that corresponding interrupts will be come in a picture and execute that. It's a software generated interrupt caused either by an error or use a request. So an OS is an interrupt driven. OS comprises a bundle of interrupts. So each one will the OS can drive by interrupts. So how to handle this interrupt? So preserve the state of the CPU by storing a register and program counter. OS preserve the state of the CPU. State of the CPU means what currently the state of the CPU. CPU is busy, idle, CPU is doing some transpiration, CPU is doing some other tasks like that. It have several states will be there. So in that case what will happen, that the status will be maintained, recorded in the registers and program counter. Those are the register of the CPU. Points to each type of interrupt possible. Type of interrupts we need to be determined. That could be polling type of interrupt. Polling means 5 devices connected to a system. Particular device may be request some service. CPU will ask whether device 1 you are requested, or device 2 is requested, or device 3 is requested, so on up to all devices. I taken an example of 5 devices. You check all 5 devices consequently whether anybody has raised the request. So for them they will go a serve. So that is called polling. So it is a time wasting maybe. So vectored interrupt system will be there. Vector in a bunch of chunk of memory, all the address of the vectors, the interrupts will be there, right? So that particular address we have to consider, or you need to be know that which interrupt has occurred and what is its address, and that address is definitely available in a vector. From that address you can go to serve. So separate segments of code determine what actions should be taken for each type of interrupts. So again there is some code will be there, that ISR, corresponding interrupt service routine will be there. That is a code should be taken each type of interrupt, that is. So that will come and serve, that is. So that timeline you can see, interrupt timeline. So there is IO request will be there for CPU. Transfer perform, IO request will be there, transfers will be there. So several kind of activities may be possible for the system. Such kind we have, maybe one example is IO request. So in this case what will happen? So idle top and bottom is a transferring, means that IO device is busy. So idle busy like that. From this square wave we can tell, that is. So there is interrupt request processing will be there. So that CPU user processing executing, so that executing when it become interrupt processing, then it will be down. When it is executing, the top will be there. So executing interrupts like that, it may be switchover may be possible. So this, from this diagram we can able to tell that how interrupts serve, that is. So how this structure IO striker will be there. So after IO start, control is returned to the user program only upon IO completion. So IO starts, control is returned to the user program when IO completes its job. So wait instruction idle, so CPU until next interrupt. So wait loop, contention for memory access. So that too many requests for the same memory place. So then wait will be there. So contention should be resolved. So after resolving that, wait that control will be come out from the loop. At most one IO request is outstanding at a time. No simultaneous IO processing is allowed. So after IO start, control instruction to user program without waiting for IO completion. So the first one was control have to wait till completion of IO. Here there are some interrupts, high priority interrupt rise. So during that case it can start, it can don't wait for the long time till IO completion, it can come in between. So system call, to come in between we can use system call. So that is also special interrupts. So request to OS to allow user to wait for IO completion. So we will give one some device that system, so that will wait on behalf of the CPU. So device status table will be there, contains entry for each IO device indicating its type and address state. The table will make it, in the table we can record what are the IO devices are taking, expecting control, CPU responsibility. So those address, state and type need to be recorded there. So from that we can perform whenever CPU is be idle. So during that time we will go to do that. So index into IO device table to determine a device status and modify the table entry to include interrupts. So as and soon that device get a service, then remove from that table. Any other IO device want to give a wanted a service, then we can include in that table. So always the system will look after that table, which device is requesting and which device are completed and removed from that table. So all those status will be maintained there. So storage definition as a notations we have seen, I think. So storage notations are very big. 64-bit memory will be 64-bit computer. So many operations, its native word size rather than byte. So we can have 1 kilobyte is equal to KB, you can have 1024. So 1 MB 1024 kilobytes KB. So GB 1024 MB. So on TB 1024 GB. Petabyte, that is 1024 terabyte. Computer manufacturers often round up these numbers and say that megabyte is a 1 million bytes and gigabytes is a billion bytes. So but networking is exception, networking measurement that is exception. So move data as at a bit time. So anyhow the structure will we see that. So that main memory, so large storage media that you might be heard that 4 GB 8 GB nowadays, like. So laptop I am using that 8 GB memory. So random access typical volatile, that is. So secondary storage, that is hard disk, so huge amount of data, so backup will be there. Extension of main memory that provides large non-volatile storage capacity. So hard disk, the rigid metal glass platted the disks, no, one above the other. So surface is logically divided into tracks. I hope we have studied in more in a computer organization. So disk controller determining the logical interaction between the device computer. Solid state, faster than the hard disk, so non-volatile. So various technology become more popular today. So of course the hierarchy we have know that their cost, speed and the size of the memory is going to be important. So according to that organize. So cache memory, special memory between the main memory and processor, it will act as a mediator between them. So it will be have a, so main memory can be viewed as a cache for secondary storage. So that is a device driver, as I said, device, keyboard, mouse, touch screen, that those are device for which device controller. To device control will control the devices. So for controlling that, software is required, that is device driver. For each device controller to manage IO, provides the uniform interface between a controller and the kernel. So hierarchy you can see, the magnetic tape, huge amount of memory. Optical disk, so little above that, it have little less compared to the magnetic disk. Hard disk compared to these two is very less. That solid state disk may be lesser, and of course is fast. Of course main memory is very fastest, and above that we have cache is buffer, and above that registers are there. So this is a hierarchy of the memory. So we can have downward size, the access time will be increases, access time will be increases. So access time will be decreases. Access time will be increases as we have, sorry, access time will be decreases, correct, decreases. So size also increases, size will be increases, access time will be increases. So cost will be reverse, cost will be increases. So that's just example, one example I will tell. So register 1 kilobyte, whereas the magnetic disk 10 TB. So the access time 0.252 is the register, that nanoseconds, whereas magnetic disk we have so much of that 8 to 50. So it is always that movement between levels of storage hierarchy can be explicit or implicit. So caching, it is between the processor and main memory. So we will see that. So important principle performed at many levels in the computer hardware software OS. So copied the information from slow to faster storage temporarily. So faster storage is the cache. Check first to determine if information is there. So CPU will check immediately to the cache if any request information. If it is available in the cache, and it will be immediately supply because it's very close to the CPU. If not, then it will be a what we call it is a cache miss occur. Then it will go to the main memory. Their main memory might also contains that. Then it will be supply. When during supply, it will give a copy to cache also. In future, expecting the CPU that copy. So that's why in advance it will keep in a cache. If not, even main memory is not there, then it will go to secondary memory. In the case of large database, so on. So if it is information is used directly from the cache, fast. If not, it is a slow, right? So copy and use there. So cache smaller than the storage being, of course. So cache management, cache placement policy is there. Placement and replacement, that is a what we called the cache placement policy. That is a separate algorithms are there. Size and replacement policy need to be adopted. Direct memory access, that is a DMA. So structure, so is to high speed IO devices. So high speed IO devices close to memory speed. So we have device controller for DMA. Transfer block data from a store direct to the main memory without CPU intervention. So it is a bulk transfer. Huge transfer will be happen from the DMA to other devices, right? So no the directions or intervention will be required from the CPU side. So only one interrupt is generated per block rather than one interrupt per byte. So normally in the other case, byte wise transmission or word wise transmission, that every word or byte need interrupts. So here only one start at end, right? So only one interrupt is enough in the DMA case. So that is a huge transfer will be happen in through this. So that modern computer, that Van Neumann computer works. So as we see that CPU have main memory, so on that. So here small buffer is a cache which will be in the CPU premises. So it is a bifurcated there. So some luggages there for the CPU or some data need for the CPU, that will immediately it can ask this cache memory, so it will supply. If not, it will go to the outside the CPU. So that is memory, right? If not in the case, it will go to the memory. So from there we have to bring that is. So there is a instructions. What are there in the memory? Instruction and data, right? It is there. So what is there in the CPU? That program and its small piece of process, and process will be further split into thread, right? So process will be thread. So thread will be there. So the thread will be interacts that IO request, data and interrupt will be arises. So that for that corresponding device will be there. IO request, that device will be there, it will go data, it will be there, memory, interrupt will be go there, vector or ISR. So that will give. So instruction execution cycle, so then data movement will be happening. So this is a stored program concept or Van Neumann computer. So the direct will be DMA will be there. So directly will be transfer from device to device or device to memory. So that Van Neumann architecture. So general purpose architecture. Most system uses single processor. So system have special purpose processor as well. So multiprocessor is a multiple processor will be there. So system growing use its importance. So known as a parallel system, tightly coupled system. So may plenty advantages. So throughput will increase, economy of scale. So computation will be fast, right? So increase reliability, graceful degradation of the or fault tolerance. Fault tolerance will be very high. That is. So two types of there. So that multiprocessor, asymmetric multiprocessor. Each processor is assigned a specific task. So that CPU 0, CPU 1, CPU 2 there. No? So each have cache, right? All the common memory will be there. So they will be, each processor is assigned a specific task and they will perform and report to the server or the master. So symmetric multiprocessor, each process performs all tasks, right? The task will be there and that task will be partitioned, and each partition will go to each processor. First partition processor 0, second processor 1, second, third processor 3, like that. All this after completion they will have to report to the master. Master will be segregate, master will be consolidate the data and submit to the real world who are using that. So cluster system, so like a multiprocessor system. So but multiple systems are working there, multiple systems are there. So usually sharing storage via storage area network. So the data will be, area of the memory will be shared. Provides the high availability service which serves failures. For example, ATM machine. So the balance variable of the customer will be stored in a shared memory. So the customer can access his currency from place to place. So but the balance variable will be fixed. It will be shared by many ATMs. So it will be reflect the data. Balance variable will be consistent data. So asymmetric clustering has one machine hot standby mode, in hot standby mode. So symmetric cluster, multiple nodes are there running application monitored by each other. So asymmetric is the only one. Symmetric cluster will come more. Some cluster are high performance computing. Applications must be run in a parallelization. For example, matrix space, that matrix type problems, we can share the rows and columns for the several processors and perform that addition, case multiplication, or sparse matrix handling. Maybe it indirectly images and video, right? We can handle that. Some have distributed lock manager to avoid a conflicting operation. So here the sometimes high performance conflicts may be arise that you need to be avoid, but dedicated systems are there, system lock manager, to avoid a conflicts. So computer will be there, interconnect, all computers are interconnect, and since they interconnected, the storage area network will be there through the consistent, the variables will be consistent. So that will be with help of this lock manager. So lock that particular variable. For example, system 1 doing some operation over the particular data variable 1. So in that case what will happen, that data variable locked and no other processor may disturb that. As soon as the computer 1 completes its job, then it will be give it to public. So again public will be computation will be there. In that anyone will be gain the this one privileges. Whoever will get that privilege, he can do perform. All other will be not permitted. That's all. So system operation, interrupt driven that OS will be interrupted, as we said, hardware, software, so on, that interrupt by one of the device. So software interrupts, exceptions or trap will be there. So that division by 0, power failure, reset, and all those will be software interrupts. So request software errors, the division by 0, requests for service. Other process problem include infinity loop. So infinity loop program may be so system struck, process modifying each other, that is also software interrupts. So dual mode operations allow OS to protect itself and other system components. So dual mode, the system have multiple modes, that user have one mode, that kernel have mode and other mode. So doing some kernel operations, then user is disabled. So user doing some operation, kernel may not intervene, right? So like that, some partition will be there, so that protects some system components. User mode and kernel mode will be there. So user mode and kernel mode, that mode bit will be there. So user have 0 and kernel will be 1 or vice versa. So provides the ability to distinguish when system is running user code or when OS has to take responsibility. It will identify system whether running the user code or system related code, that kernel code, right? So if it is providing, so it is running kernel mode code or system related code, then it give extra security and all those, of course for user also, but more security for the kernel mode. Some instruction is designated as a privilege, only executable in a kernel mode, so those are not allowed to access by the user, so they are safeguarded in a kernel mode. So system call changes the mode to kernel, return from call recess to user. So there is everybody system calls are there, so that system call help us here. Whenever system going to kernel mode, and it will be with help of the system call, it will be, as after the system perform the operation of related to the kernel system side, then it will be return send the arrange the controls to send back from that kernel to user who was executing that program. So increasingly CPU support multi-mode operations. Of course multi-mode supports will be, that is one more called virtual manager mode. So modes for guest virtual machines, so that user mode and kernel mode and virtual mode. So virtual mode have higher privileges than user mode, but not as a kernel mode. So it is in between. It is neither a user mode or nor kernel mode. It is in between there. So most of the virtual machines we have been observing. So that is the mode. So dual mode operations allow OS to protect itself and other. So that we have, so that provides the code kernel. So some instruction design privilege, system call, is there, transition from user to kernel. So timer to prevent a infinite loop process hogging resource, and the timer is set to interrupt that computer after some time period. Counter that decremented by the physical clock. Set the counter, that is a privilege instruction. When counter 0 generates an interrupt, set up before scheduling process, regain control or stop the program, that exceeds the allotment time. So kernel is there, kernel. So we are some of the attributes will be there, kernel. So kernel mode bit 0, mode bit is 0. So we have user is there, right? So user space will be there. So user mode will be bit will be 1. So kernel and user mode are there, then separated by with a barcode, right? So there is a big strong wall is there, so nobody can jump from user to kernel and so on without a permission. So that in order to user process willing to execute so it will be start executing, and it has to take the help of the system call. So system call will be help that, right? Through system call only we can contact the kernel, so no other person is eligible or able to contact the kernel. So we want to user want to contact the kernel, so we will go through that. So there is a trap mode will be there, mode bit equal to 0, right? So mode bit equal to 0 means it is coming to kernel. So the trap is a interrupt, due to the system call it taken into origination. So execute the system call, for example write, print or any power failure or any division by 0. So such kind of interrupts are there. So the system calls, so execute that ISR, system interrupt service routine, execute that. So return mode bit 1. So when you enter, make it a 0, and bit is 0, it kernel mode, means no user can enter here. No user can enter to the kernel because already one person is there. So let him come out, then only how will come out after completion, and mode bit set to 1. So as soon as mode bit set to 1, so immediate who other user competing for this kernel space, so we will try that. So return from the system call. So from at this point, junction of point, so other user can enter into the kernel. So process management. So process is a program execution. It's a unit of work within within a system. Is a passive entity. Process is a active entity. Program will be split into process. No? So that process will be active. So process needs a resource. It needs some other utensils to accomplish that task. So CPU, memory, IO files, initialize the data, stack memory. Process termination requires a reclaim of any reusable resource. Termination required, reclaim any reusable. So single threaded process has a one program counter, specifying location of the next instruction to execute. So program counter will be there, that process. So process execution instruction sequentially, one at a till completion. So multi-thread also there. So as a one PC per thread. So typically system has many process. Some user, some OS running concurrently on one or more CPU. So concurrency by multiplexing the CPU among the process and threads. So that CPU will be multiplex, and it will switch over from one process to other process. So for process management activity, it is responsible for following activities. So create and delete the process, and suspend the resume the process. So provide the mechanism for process synchronizer, mechanism for communication. So also deadlock. So deadlock, communication, synchronization will be discussed in subsequent chapters in detail. So right now the responsibility of the process, the deadlock, process communication, synchronization, resuming and suspending, all functionality will be performed by this management. So coming to the memory. So memory, we have seen in a previous slide that hierarchy. To it is a set of data and instructions are will be accommodated here now to execute them. So all part data that is needed by program must be memory. So memory management determines what is a kind of memory the data will be, instructions will be there. So optimize the CPU utilization and computer response to user, that is a responsibility of the memory management. So that all activities has to be look after, keeping track of which part of the memory are currently used or free, fragments are there, the unused memory is there. So we have to, the memory manager has to look after all those, and we have to combine the used memory, unused memory separately, then make it ready for unused memory for the next request. So deciding which process part thereof and data to be moved into and out of the memory. So allocating and deallocating memory space, as I said. So make a space, unused space are there, then we make it a space and allocate for them. Some of them are allocate long time, then after finishing their job they have to deallocate them and give it to next person. So management, it provides the uniform logical view of information storage. So logical information, so that the data may be spread across the memory, so that logical blocks are there. So you have to link them logically, then make a space for the abstract physical properties of logical units, that is a file. File contains the information. Each medium is controlled by a device, disk drive, tape drive. So varying properties include speed, capacity of the data, that memory. So the transfer rate, how exchange method, sequential or random. So file system management, of course, files usually organized into directories. So access control on most of the determine who can access what activities included. So delete and create the files directories, primitives to manipulate the files and directory permissions, mapping files onto secondary storage, so backup files onto stable storage media. These are the quite activities which will often be involved by on behalf of the OS to the user and various other systems. So the responsibility storage management will be under the guidance of the memory management will be happening. So mass storage management, so usually disk used to store a data that does not fit in a main memory, so make it kept for long period, that go to the secondary memory. Somebody is a big program, can keep it in a secondary memory, then make it a piece and call one by one, so that in the sequence manner. Properly management is a quite important aspect. So that will do most of the techniques are there. So entire speed of the computer depends on the subsystem and kind of algorithms people are using. So activities, we have pre-space management. As I showed, there is chunks created in between the memory. So pre-space we can combine, club it and make for the big user who has a request coming from the user. So storage allocation, scheduling. Some storage need not to be fast, right? So territory storage include optical storage, magnetic tape. They inherently they are slow, but in huge size, still must be managed. So varies between the worms. The write once, write many times, and read write concept. That is. So purpose of the OS is to be hide a peculiarity of the hardware device from the user. So one purpose of the OS is so hardware device we need to be protect. So IO system responsible for memory management, IO including buffering and caching and spooling, right? So caching, spooling and memory management, so that will be taken care by the this IO subsystem responsibility. Device driver interface for specific hardware device. Protection and security. Any mechanism for controlling access, process or user to resource defined by the operating system. This controlling will be performed by the operating system. Most of the device will be controlled. User to resource defined by the OS. Security, defense of the system against the internal and external attacks. There will be a external attack by the IO device or by the user or system. Internal attack will be there also by the program executed and task performed. Huge range including Daniel service, worms, viruses, identify theft of service. System generally first distinguish among users to determine who can do what. So user identifies the user have his identity, include the name, associated number, one per user. So user ID that associated with all files, process of that user determine the control. Group ID also there, allows the set of users to define, managed by their search. So for example, you might be seeing that Unix command. So you can maybe just type the ls. So there is several folders of files are there. So group user ID will be also there. So user or files we can protect by setting the privileges. Privilege escalation allow user to change the effective ID with more rights. So that security and protection aspects. Outline, we have summarized that so far what we discuss. So what operating system will do, that we discuss, and the organization of that system, architecture we seen, and the structure also we seen, and operations, process management we seen, memory and storage, and ultimately security and protection. So I hope we have collected from this book Abraham Silver Charts, Peter Beer Galvin, Greg Gagna, Operating System Principle 9th edition, William Day 2006. It is a text book. Reference books, of course, many. Annie McHouse, uh, that is Ida M. Phelan, Understanding Operating System, Senge is publisher. Damdare, of course, Operating System by McGraw-Hill. PC BUT also, PCP BUT we have introduction of OS by PHI, Concept and Practice. William Stalling, of course, Operating System Internals and Design. So I thank you for patient listening and interest on introductory part of the operating system. So it is a session 2 for the module 1. So thanks to coordinator and moderator and subject expert. Thank you one and all.